Hello friends, welcome to my channel Fundamentals of Engineering. So in this channel we have started the lecture series regarding theory of metal cutting. Today we are going to see the part 7 of this lecture series, that is derivation for coefficient of friction and work done in machine. So if you miss earlier videos, the link is available in description box, you can check. Now we are going to see how we are going to derive for coefficient of friction. So for this, in last part, in the part 6, we have developed the merchant circle. So in that merchant circle, we are having common hypotenuse for three triangles, that is ABC, ADC and AEC, that is resultant R, and all these three triangles are right angle. So there we have found out the resultant R, which is equal to n upon cos beta, which is equal to f upon sin beta, which is equal to fc upon cos beta minus alpha, which is equal to ft upon sin beta minus alpha, which is equal to fs upon cos phi plus beta minus alpha, which is equal to fsn upon sin phi plus beta minus alpha. So by using this relation, we are going to find out the coefficient of friction, which is denoted as nu. So how we are finding out this? We can find out by using three different methods. First, if we consider these two relation, n upon cos beta, which is equal to f upon sin beta. So sin beta upon cos beta, which is given as f upon n. So this nu is equal to tan of friction angle. Tan of friction angle. So it is given as tan beta is equal to f upon n. That is a friction angle. Based on that, we find out the coefficient of friction nu. Then another, using these two relations, that is fc upon cos beta minus alpha is equal to ft upon sin beta minus alpha. So here sin beta minus alpha upon cos beta minus alpha, which is equal to ft upon fc. So it can be written as tan beta minus alpha, which is equal to ft upon fc. So the beta is given as alpha plus tan inverse ft upon fc. So by using this relation, these are measurable forces, and alpha we are getting based on the tool designation. There we can find out this friction angle, and if you know this friction angle, then nu can be find out. Nu is equal to tan beta. So this is the second method. So in this same method, we are getting tan beta minus alpha, which is equal to ft upon fc. So if you expand this bracket, we are getting tan beta minus tan alpha upon 1 plus tan beta tan alpha, which is equal to ft by fc. So if you multiply with fc with this numerator and ft with denominator, we are getting fc tan beta minus Fc tan alpha, which is equal to Ft plus Ft into tan beta tan alpha. If you get this term to this side and this term to this side, then we are getting Fc tan beta minus Ft into tan beta into tan alpha, which is equal to Ft plus Fc tan alpha. So from this, if you take common, that is tan beta, we are getting Fc minus Ft tan alpha, which is equal to Ft plus Fc tan alpha. So the tan beta we are getting Ft plus Fc tan alpha upon Fc minus Ft tan of alpha. So by using these three relations, we can find out the coefficient of friction, that is mu. So in the numerical, if Ft and Fc values, cutting force and thrust force values are given, also based on the tool designation, if the back rake angle is given, then based on that we can find out the coefficient of friction nu. That is for coefficient of friction. So now in generally, this Fc value, so this Fc value is always greater than Ft value. Suppose in the numericals, if the only force values are given, either they are not mentioned cutting force and thrust force, then by using this relation, in generally we are having Fc greater than Ft. So based on that, which value is greater, then consider Fc, and the smaller value consider Ft. But in some cases we are getting Fc less than Ft. In some cases we are getting, where in the operation of face turning, grinding and broaching, in some of the operations we are getting thrust force is greater than cutting force. So there we are getting the relation Ft upon Fc, which is equal to 2.5 or greater than 2.5. There we are getting the friction angle value is greater than 45 degree. Its value is greater than 45 degree. So if we are getting this value, friction angle value is equal to or greater than 45 degree, nu we are getting greater than 1 or equal to or greater than 1 we are getting. This new value equal to or greater than 1 we are getting. But in general, the coefficient of friction must be less than 1. So in cases where the new coefficient of friction value becomes greater than 1, there we are using classical friction theorem. Classical friction theorem to find out the value of coefficient of friction. So according to this classical friction theorem, we are getting the relation to finding out coefficient of friction, ln 1 upon r upon pi by 2 minus alpha, where r is equal to chip thickness ratio and alpha is equal to back rake angle. So if the friction angle value is greater than 45 degree, then nu is we are getting equal to or greater than 1. Then to find out the coefficient of friction value, we are using classical friction theorem. So for that, the formula is nu is equal to ln 1 by r upon pi by 2 minus alpha. So there we can find out this relation for the coefficient of friction. Next is work done in machining. So whenever we want to do the work done in machining to form the chip, this shear stress must be greater than or equal to ultimate shear stress. Greater than or equal to ultimate shear stress. So this shear stress we are getting based on shear force upon sheared area. So this shear stress we are getting sheared force upon sheared area, that is Fs upon As. So if you know, whenever we are doing the machining operation to formation of the chip, so this is our sheared area where the chip formation is taking place. So this is our As, and this sheared area we are getting, that is width into length of shear. So this sheared area we are getting, that is length Ls into width B. So this Ls we are getting based on the analysis of machining operation, we are getting T1 upon sin phi into B, that T1 into B upon sin phi we are getting. So this T1 into B means B width is a constant, as we have seen the assumption of analysis of orthogonal machining, and T1 is a uncut chip thickness before machining. So we are getting A0 upon sin phi for this sheared area, A0 upon sin phi for this sheared area. So if you put this equation in this formula, so sheared stress we are getting Fs into sin phi upon A0, Fs into sin phi upon A0. So T, that is shear stress, must be greater than or equal to ultimate shear stress. There is a possible case of machining. If this value is less than ultimate stress, then we are getting impossible case of machining, that the chip formation will not be. Now the work done we are getting based on the energy required for shearing, and which is the addition of energy required for shearing and energy required for overcoming the friction. So work done we are getting energy required for shearing, energy required for shearing action, plus addition of energy required for overcoming the friction. So addition of these two we are getting the work done. So energy required for shearing is given by Fc into Vc, and energy required for overcoming friction is given by Ft into Vf, where Vf is the flow velocity. So if we know whatever the feed velocity we are supplying, based on that this multiplication value we are getting very small, so we are ignoring this value. So this work done we are getting only Fc into Vc. So this work done we are getting Fc into Vc. We are getting. So now this work done which we are getting, that is Fc into Vc, So by using the merchant circle, the FC can be given or written as, based on the shared port, Fs into cos beta minus alpha upon cos of phi plus beta minus alpha. So this Fc can be written as Fs into cos beta minus alpha upon cos phi plus beta minus alpha, and Vc will be given same. So earlier we have derived the relation for shear stress, that is Fs into sin phi upon A naught, and by using this we are getting Fs value, that is shear stress into initial area upon sin phi. So if you put this equation 1 in this equation for the Fs, we are getting shear stress into A naught into cos of beta minus alpha upon sin phi into cos of phi plus beta minus alpha into Vc. So we are getting the work done value in this equation, that is shear stress into initial area into cos beta minus alpha upon sin phi into cos phi plus beta minus alpha into Vc. So for minimum work done, for minimum work done criteria, if you differentiate this work done with respect to shear plane angle, which is equal to 0, then we are getting equation as 2 phi plus beta minus alpha, which is equal to 90 degree, which is called as optimal shear angle relation. That we can write here, phi is equal to 90 plus alpha minus beta upon 2, which is given as optimum shear angle relation under minimum work done criteria, or it is called as merchant shear angle relation, This is called as merchant shear angle relation, that is phi is equal to 90 plus alpha minus beta upon 2. So this relation is validated by Lee and Schaper. Then they found the different equation, that is called as phi plus beta minus alpha 45 degree. So this is called as Lee and Schaper relation. Also Stabler also validated this merchant shear angle relation, and he found equation as phi plus beta minus alpha by 2 is equal to 45 degree. So these two successors of merchants, they found the Lee, Schaper and Stabler new equation, that is phi plus beta minus alpha is equal to 45 degree for the Lee, Schaper, and Stabler they found phi plus beta minus alpha by 2 is equal to 45 degree. So merchant constant which is given as Cm, C suffix m, that is 2 phi plus beta minus alpha, which is equal to 90 degree. 2 phi plus beta minus alpha, which is equal to 90 degree, where shear stress equal to ultimate shear stress. So here the energy utilization is 100%. Energy utilization is 100%. And if you want to find out the net energy utilization, then this energy utilization we can get if we are given the CM value, that is 65 degrees. Suppose we are given, then reduction in CM we are getting, reduction in CM, that is reduction in CM 90 minus 65, that we are getting value as 25 degree. And net energy utilization we can get 100 minus that reduction in merchant constant. So we are getting energy utilization as 75%. So if you want to find out the energy utilization, then whatever the merchant constant value we are getting, so we have to minus that value. That value will be getting, that is reduction in merchant constant. Then that value we have to minus from the 100% to get net energy utilization or efficiency of energy utilization. Hope you like this video. If you like it, stay connected. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you missed the earlier videos, the link is available in description box. Go and check. Thank you very much.